Now, preview time. So let's take a look at what's coming your way.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas! 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 Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and we're kicking off today with another Rankin Bass triple feature. We're going to kick off today with the first of the Frosty the Snowman trilogy, Frosty the Snowman, starring Jimmy Durante, Jackie Vernon, June Foray, Billy DeWolf, and Paul Frees. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. As I said in the introduction, it's another Rankin Bass triple feature today. We're going to kick off and do the entire Frosty the Snowman trilogy today, starting, of course, with the original Frosty the Snowman. And our movie opens in a schoolhouse on Christmas Eve as inept magician Professor Hinkle unsuccessfully performs his tricks during a school Christmas party. Upon being dismissed, the children go outside to play in the snow, where they build a snowman and name him Frosty. Professor Hinkle chases his hat, which is over his rabbit, Hocus Pocus, which blows off by the wind and is caught by Karen, who puts it on Frosty's head and brings him to life. Now, Professor Hinkle reclaims the hat when it gets blown off and denies the fact that he saw Frosty come to life. Later, Hocus Pocus switches the hat with a Christmas wreath and brings it back to the children. They use the hat to bring Frosty to life once again, and the snowman is immediately amazed by his newfound lifeness. When the temperature begins to rise, Frosty fears that he will melt unless he can get to the North Pole. The children suggest putting him on a train in order to get him there, and they decide to parade through the town on the way to the train station, shocking several townspeople along the way. However, because they have no money for tickets, Hocus Pocus, Frosty, and Karen secretly board a northbound freight train's refrigerator car, while Professor Hinkle schemes to reclaim the hat. As the train continues north, Frosty notices Karen getting colder. So when the train stops to let a passenger train go by, the group disembarks in search of somewhere to warm Karen, with Professor Hinkle following in hot pursuit. By nightfall, Frosty, Karen, and Hocus Pocus struggle through the forest, where Hocus Pocus convinces the forest animals to build a campfire for Karen. Feeling that the fire will not be enough, Frosty decides to look for Santa Claus, who they assume can save Karen and bring him to the North Pole. Hocus Pocus then goes off in search of Santa, and soon after, Professor Hinkle arrives, causing Karen and Frosty to flee. When they stumble upon a greenhouse, Frosty and Karen go inside so that Karen can warm up, but Professor Hinkle arrives and locks them both inside. Meanwhile, Hocus Pocus finds Santa and leads him to the greenhouse, but by the time they arrive, Frosty has already melted. Santa explains to Karen that Frosty is made of Christmas snow and will return every winter. He then opens the door, and the winter air reassembles Frosty outside of the greenhouse. As they are about to put the hat back on Frosty, Professor Hinkle intervenes, and Santa threatens to never bring him another present if he reclaims the hat. Professor Hinkle runs home in order to write apologies, hoping to get a new hat for Christmas, while Santa brings Frosty back to life, drops Karen off at her house, and then takes Frosty with him to the North Pole, promising Karen that he will return every year with the magical Christmas snow. As our movie comes to its end, Frosty leads a parade with the children, Hocus Pocus, our narrator, Jimmy Durante, and the rest of the town, including Professor Hinkle, who is sporting his brand new hat. As the parade ends, Frosty boards Santa's sleigh and they fly off to the North Pole, with Frosty promising to return the following Christmas. Frosty the Snowman is another Christmas classic. This is another one of those traditional, you've got to watch every year things. And Rankin Bass did it so well. The voice cast was awesome. The way they interpreted the song into the story was awesome. But, much like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, although nowhere near to the same extreme, I felt like Santa was a bit of a prick in this. In that, yes, Professor Hinkle was evil. Professor Hinkle deserved to be taught a lesson. But for Santa to tell Professor Hinkle that he needs to write, "I'm very sorry for what I did to Frosty," 100 zillion times, and then maybe, just maybe, you'll get something on Christmas morning. When Santa's already there, he's already at their town. Professor Hinkle has no time to get this mission accomplished. So that just seems to me very unfair by Santa. Again, I agree wholeheartedly that Professor Hinkle as the villain needs to learn his lesson some way, somehow. But I feel like the punishment was just a little extreme. What do you guys think? Did the punishment fit the crime? Let me know. But this is one that I watch every year. It doesn't matter if I'm doing Renegades Reviews. It doesn't matter what's going on. I make time to sit down and enjoy Frosty the Snowman. So when it comes to my rating of Frosty, this one, because of that little bit with Santa, also gets 4.5 out of 5 stars for me. What did you guys think of Rankin Bass's classic Frosty the Snowman? Let me know. If you're watching the premiere, leave your thoughts and comments over here. If you're watching on demand later in the day, leave your thoughts and comments down here. But let's have that conversation, that discussion, that debate, that interaction that I'm always asking for in the comments below. And make sure you tune in at the top of the half hour, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And we're going to take a look at the forgotten sequel to Frosty the Snowman, Frosty's Winter Wonderland, starring Jackie Vernon, Andy Griffith, Shelley Winters, and Paul Frees, amongst others. And then we're going to wrap up the day today, immediately following that, with Frosty Returns, the Lorne Michaels produced Frosty sequel, starring John Goodman, Jonathan Winters, Jan Hooks, Brian Doyle Murray, amongst others. You don't want to miss out on any of that content right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel on Renegades Reviews. So much in store today and for the rest of the month. So make sure you smash that like button. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure that notification bell is turned on so you don't miss out anytime a video drops right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel or anytime we go live, as is the case with Statboy Sports Bar, Open Mic Night, pay-per-view PLE coverage, etc. Share these videos with your family, friends, loved ones, co-workers, movie fanatics, cinephiles, fans of Christmas, fans of Jimmy Durante, fans of Frosty the Snowman, fans of the Rankin Bass specials. Anybody you can think of that would enjoy my content, my videos, share this with them. It's the only way we're going to boost up my visibility in YouTube's algorithms so I can eventually get monetized and make some money on this. Thank you once again. To everybody who joined me and tuned in today, it means more to me than you'll ever know. And I will see you guys next time.